What's up, fellas? What's going on, everyone? Welcome on into Coffee with Brodes. How is everybody today? It's a Wednesday. It's a Wednesday. What does that mean? Well, we know that means there's a hump day giveaway involved after Coffee with Brodes is over. But what's going on? How are you? I apologize for yesterday. We did not get a Coffee with Brodes in, but we do have one today, and that's what matters. What's up? Good morning, Todd. Good morning, Josh, Arm Zebra, Adrian. Thank you so much for coming in here today, as you guys always do. Appreciate it. How about them Clippers? Yeah, crazy. Absolutely wild that they started that way. It really is. Down 0-2, Luka balling. Pretty damn wild. Pretty damn wild. What's up, Sticky and Jack? William. All right, so you know how we begin. This thing just, and I mean just got finished brewing. So I'm sure this is going to be, I'm going to give it a second. Normally we go for the cheers. I'm going to give it a second. When I tell you this thing literally just came out of the pot of coffee, I don't want to be dumb. And sometimes I am dumb. And I acknowledge that. But not today. Daniel says, I feel bad for Chris Paul. It is pretty sad. I'm not going to lie. It's sad to see him sitting on the sideline, see him banged up. You know he wants to compete out there while LeBron James is on the other side making a bunch of shots. And he got his back to the basket, fading away, hitting a big three, giving you a beautiful celebration. Bam, bam. It was great. I loved every second of it. You know, LeBron James is good at basketball, in case you did not know that. How badly is CP3 hurt? I mean, he's clearly he's hurt enough. He's hurt enough for it to take him out of the playoffs because he's not just going to sit around for nothing. He's not just going to sit around just to sit around. You know, there's clearly a correlation here between how banged up he is and then missing the postseason when they're a number 2 seed. And he's been one of their best. He's been one of their most important players all season long. You talk about him as one of the biggest reasons why that franchise has turned it around and he's not available for you. Yeah, I think it has something to do with how much pain he's really in. What a shame. I bet $50 on the Suns for the game or for the series. Because you still got time. It's only 1-1 if it was the series, but I guess you would mean the game if that's the case. Kyle says, I know the Celtics suck, but last night has me officially scared. See, that's the thing. Last night was a mixture of both. The Celtics blow. I've tried to tell everybody for the last 3 months when people are like, I don't want to see the Celtics as the 8th seed. I don't want to see that. No. The Celtics suck. The Celtics blow. I tried telling everyone. They were in that position for a reason. Then Jaylen Brown got hurt, which only made it a little bit more noticeable in how much they were going to blow. Yeah, the Nets can play, though. We know that. We know the Nets can score. We know the Nets can bang. We know the Nets can get buckets. We knew that. That was inevitable. We also knew the Celtics suck. So you're kind of in that middle ground of acknowledging both, right? You're in the middle of both. No. I'm anti-Ice Cube. Anti-Ice Cube, Jim. I don't believe in it. First off, yeah, no, I don't do it. I don't do an Ice Cube. Maybe it's time, by the way. Maybe it's time. Here we go. Cheers. Yeah, we can do it. We can do that. Ooh, hazelnut. I forgot I went hazelnut today. Thought I went with the regular. Now, see, I'm so picky with the heat of my coffee that there's no way I'm going to force it to get colder on me quicker. I need it to be as hot as possible forever. Once coffee hits a certain temperature, I am out. I'm either making a fresh pot or I am putting it in the microwave. I cannot drink coffee when it hits a certain level. Anti. Let's go, Mavs. Clippers suck. Yeah. Well, Paul George bitching and complaining about the coaching last year and all. And this is why so now you're switching a coach and the same issues are coming. I talk about this all the time when it comes to the fact that, I put a lot more stock on the players in this league than I do the coaching staff. Paul George thought it was the coaching staff. Well, they got their asses handed them in the first 2 games. Now, that doesn't mean the series is over. There's plenty of time left to play ball. You're talking about Kawhi Leonard, who's a proven winner, but it doesn't look very good. They're missing something defensively. Luka Doncic is causing them a ton of issues. They might have to start going a little double team. They might have to bring some more intensity because what they're trying to do now is just flat out not working at all. Look, I mean, I'm not telling you you're wrong. I'm just saying that this was the narrative last season. This was the conversation at times last year. So, yeah, I mean, it's not true, but this has been a knock. I need one of these. Yes. I'm writing that. I got sticky notes. I'm writing that bitch down on a sticky note. I've been talking about this. I mean, I know a lot of people that have them. I've seen a couple different ones. There's either the actual coffee mug that has the heater at the bottom, and then there's the coaster that's hot that you put the coffee mug on. I don't know which one I want. Coffee mug heaters. So there's a combination of both. I left room there because I'm going to write other things. I'm not just weirdly spacing it out. Put it on the bottom of the desktop next to my other ones. There you go. Talk about having it. Is that a pro tip? Sticky notes in the office? Sticky note. Is that a pro tip as well? What do we do if Nola sucks tonight? I mean, there's nothing we can do about it. It's not like we can change him. Hey, you know what, Nola? Yeah. What are we going to do? We're going to move you? We're going to trade you? I mean, we're not going to be able to do anything with it. We got to wait for him to snap out of it. That's all. He's going to snap out of it. And that's where it's like, it's the same thing with the Andrew McCutchen thing. No one thought he was going to be able to snap out of it. Yes, he will. It's called sports. He snapped out of it. Odubel Herrera. Oh, my God, he stinks. He's never going to be able to play again. He snapped out of it. Aaron Nola will snap out of it. I know that he's not a 7 ERA guy, and that's what he's kind of been giving you over the last handful of games. So knowing that he's normally in that 3.5 range, like that's literally in 7 seasons in Major League Baseball. Aaron Nola's ERA is 3.50 on the dot. 3.50 on the dot. Okay? So the last 3 games, he's been giving you 7 ERA. It's just not going to keep up forever. It's not. He's too good. He will establish himself again. He'll be all right. Just give him some games. He's got to work out of it. I'm not happy about it. I'm not proud about it. I'm hard on him. He needs to significantly pick it up. He needs to start pitching better. He's got to get better command of his pitches. He's got to keep his pitch count lower. It doesn't help when your defense makes mistakes. And when your defense makes mistakes, you're staying out there longer. I'm not saying that's the only reason why he's been brutal over the last handful of games. I'm just saying it doesn't help in general when that does happen. And that's been a common theme for this roster for a little bit of time now. He's got to be sharper, though. Can't go down early. Can't get raw. Can't go down 3-0. Like, he's got to get smoother. He's got to get command. At one point, he was losing his curveball, although he did utilize his curveball well in his last outing. He hung one pitch with that curveball. He was magnificent with it all night. He hung one pitch, and before you knew it, the Phillies were pretty much done. So it only takes one. We know that. Laurie says, Vince Velasquez is pitching better each game. I agree with that. I wish Nola snaps out of it tonight. He really needs it and the team needs it. Absolutely. They both do need it. Vince Velasquez has been awesome. Now, yesterday in my post-game show, one of the Anytime Hotline calls brought up this. I told myself I was never going to fall for Vince Velasquez again, so I'm not buying in. And I understand because we all said that. I said that. You said that. Anyone you know has probably said that. With that being said, it's okay to say that this is probably one of the most intriguing, other than a 16K day, other than 16 strikeouts in one performance. this is probably the best stretch of Vince Velasquez, most consistent stretch we've seen out of command, out of poise, out of patience, out of confidence that we've ever seen. So it's okay to be intrigued by that without fully being jumping back in, without being bought in that Vince Velasquez is some stud. Look, we all recognize that we're talking about a 4th or 5th starter. We're not talking about anything ridiculous like a top 3 rotational piece. So it's okay after what we've been through to say, this has been one of the more intriguing stretches of Vince Velasquez. I'm excited to see if this trend continues. And even if he does have a hiccup, it doesn't mean that he's back to his old self instantly. You got to give him a chance to bounce back from that adversity as well, because if he has 2 strong performances after that one, and now it's 6 out of 7 starts have been 6 innings or so, so it's okay. My point is to admit that this is exciting without going overboard saying that Vince Velasquez is back. 2 totally different things. Nolan needs to take some advice. No, Caleb Cotham is the guy. I mean, every time this man in the middle of a game goes to talk to one of his players on the mound, they calm down. They do every time. Like, what the hell is going on? Every time he's got the magic touch. He's got the magic touch. It's amazing. I think this team just has confidence in him. The message getting across by Caleb is getting across to everyone. And it's not easy to do. Good for Caleb, though. When was the last time Vince had a start without a home run? Seriously? Nope. Well, they shut him out yesterday. It was a good performance by Vinny. I was proud of him. $5 donation coming in from Edward. 76ers bench scoring is like 27th. Brooklyn's is like 2nd. This has me biting my nails to the bone even more than the big 3. Why? I don't know why that would do that. Why I'm scared is the big 3. They play 37 to 40 minutes a night. That's why I'm scared. I'm not telling you the other 8 to 10 minutes don't matter. They do matter. But they're going to be playing Kevin Durant 38 minutes a night against the Sixers. These guys are going to be logging in 38, 37, 39 minutes a night against it. I'm more worried about that than I am a bench for a couple of minutes, which matters. But you said biting your nails way more than the big 3. I don't know how that's happening. Even more than the big 3. I just don't know how that's the case. I don't see it that way. Yeah, look, I'm excited to see that series play out when it does, if it does. Not because of the Sixers part of the equation, but because of the Brooklyn Nets playing the Milwaukee part of the equation. But yeah, I mean, look, they're a good team. You're seeing them play. You're seeing them get some rhythm together. You're watching Kevin Durant, James Harden, Kyrie Irving log in some minutes, get some feel, just play basketball with one another. And that's why I said we'll know more knowledge about these teams when we get to the Eastern Conference Finals and you've seen these teams play 2 series. You will have a different opinion on the Nets after they play the Milwaukee Bucks if they win that round. You will have a different thought process on the Milwaukee Bucks if they beat the Brooklyn Nets in the second round and we see them in the Eastern Conference Finals. So, all this that we talk about right now, we'll have different opinions on them after we watch them play for such a stretch in the playoffs, if you will. TK says a moment of silence for Andrew Knapp's balls. Yes, the testicles definitely had to hurt after that. Brutal. Foul tip, square in the nuts, too. Not even a little bit, not even maybe just an inch. That thing hit square nuts after a tip, and you watched him go down. Oh. It made me fall over. It really did. That was brutal. I don't know if you can get worse than that. Random Gamer says the Bucks can beat the Nets, in my opinion. As long as Middleton shows up, they have no paint defense. so Giannis should have a field day. Holiday can switch to Kyrie and Harden. Yeah, I mean, look, it's going to be a good series. I think the Bucks. I know the Bucks can play. Both of these teams can play. Yeah, I think the Bucks can win too. I think any of these teams can win. I think any of these three teams at the top of the Eastern Conference can win the Eastern Conference and it not be shocking, it not be mind-blowing, it not be one of the craziest things that we have seen. All of it can be a reality, like all three of these teams are very good in their own ways. All three of these teams have problems that you can counter in certain areas, and it just comes down to making the right adjustments and picking apart the other team's issues and just being in the right areas at the same time and executing the game plan properly. There's a lot in place here when it comes to, these top three teams. So I'm with you. I do agree that the Milwaukee Bucks have some swag to them that can take down the Brooklyn Nets. I do think that they can win that series. Any of these top three teams have a chance to win the Eastern Conference. The unknown says Ben Simmons stats tomorrow, 8, 10, and 10. I don't want to get into that. I think that conversation has been had twice now for me. I'll wait to see tonight's game. We'll talk about tonight's game after the game, and we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. People really going crazy over 2 games against the Boston Celtics. They were doing that prior to the Boston Celtics. They were doing that prior. And even with both sides, I'm saying that with like the overreaction before the Boston Celtics series was the Boston Celtics can bang. Now all of a sudden, the Brooklyn Nets are so good. No. The Boston Celtics suck. They suck. I don't get why people didn't see this prior to the playoffs beginning. They literally just got associated with the fact that they didn't suck in years past. It was clear and obvious. It's sort of like when we go to the replay booth. Is it clear and obvious? Can you overturn the call? Well, this was clear and obvious that the play stands. If you were in my thought process, which was this team sucks. If you were on the other side, clear and obvious that you can overturn the call that Boston blows. What's up, Evan? Thanks for coming in. Ready for game 2 tonight. You're damn right. You are damn right. Yeah, I'm pretty pumped up. It's been for like a couple days off, And it's a weird series too, because the Sixers are in a position where you're just, they're going to win. It's like it's the playoffs, and it's kind of cool, calm, and collected by the fan base a little bit. I mean, not all the time. We did have an outrage here in this city after Ben Simmons' performance, but ultimately, you don't have that giddy feeling because they're going to win the series. At least that's how I feel personally. I don't have that same butterfly feeling. I don't have that same woozy feeling of excitement because I kind of understand that they're going to crush this basketball team. Mikey says, what is that? 4 good starts in a row for Vinny V? I hate on him too, but he's been good lately. Yeah, he has been good lately. He's been more, I was going to say he's been more than just good, but no, I think good is a fair kind of assessment on what he has been this season. But it's crazy. It's just crazy to see how far he's come. And he had some quotes yesterday talking about his confidence, talking about the mind part of the game and talking to people there. And I think he just came with a whole new approach. And he always talks about him knowing that this is the last time that he's going to get a chance, or he's very limited in opportunities. And he knows that his time is dwindling down. He's had 7,000 starts. So he knew that somewhere along the line, this was going to be it to an extent. And maybe that caught up to him. Maybe that was enough for him to wreck. I know he's been saying that for years, though. So after 2 years, it's like, okay, we get it. You got to pitch better. You're very limited with how many times you get on the bump. But ultimately, this is a situation where, okay, we're not going to do that then. This is a situation where maybe he's that desperate, where he realizes back against the wall is like no other this time. This time it's for real. Enough's enough. You got to pounce on the Matt Moore, Chase Anderson dilemma. You got to pounce on the back end of the rotation being a joke. All that. You just got to take it for what it is, though. It's fun. What up with the Hawks-Knicks game being prime time over Sixers? Well, because it's a 1 versus 8. So 1 versus 8. That's your problem. I don't even know what are the Sixers on, like, is it like what happened yesterday where they're on MLB NBA TV or something? I don't even know what channel they're on tonight. I haven't gotten that far yet. They're on NBA TV. Yeah, the reason why is because you would imagine the Hawks Knicks would be closer. Think about what you watched last game. You watched an unbelievable floater, Trae Young shushing the crowd in a 5-6 matchup. That's going to be tighter. It's going to be closer compared to a Wizards Sixers game that they probably anticipated that it was going to be a blowout and it wasn't going to be close. And they're probably going to be right with that assessment. The Sixers are an 8-point favorite at home. Yeah, while the other game, New York is favored by 2 at home. It's probably just going to be a closer game, and that's how they see it. Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense. If you're just thinking, well, the Sixers are on and they're the best team, well, it's not necessarily just about being the best team because, it's about eye popping. It's about the sexier, potential, if you will. Last night's Clippers game was probably more, I don't know. That Suns game was awesome, though. So I was going to say that Clippers Mavericks game was pretty damn awesome, and it was on NBA TV. But was the Suns Lakers game just as entertaining? Yeah. And LeBron's in the mix. Of course, that's national television. Man, LeBron was making some ridiculous shots last night. Ridiculous shots in the fourth quarter. The one-legged fadeaway turnaround jumper that he does when he's backing down his opponent and he just nonchalantly turns his body on a fadeaway J. It's like, how did you know the basket was going to be there? How did you hit nothing but net? How was it that smooth? How was it that beautiful? How was it that ridiculous? How was it that sexy? I mean, it was just such a sexy shot. It's like, what? How do you do that? Yeah, it is a shame. It is a shame, and it hurts because this team was fun all year with the Phoenix Suns. This was a team that was led by Chris Paul. This was a team where Devin Booker and him were just clicking and playing a great brand of the game. And then before you know it, they get some issues and, there's a problem with an injury. And now you're watching him sitting on the bench. He looks like someone who just lost his puppy. He looks like someone that just lost his dog. It's a very sad look. Very sad look. Haha. See, all right. Now we got this perspective. Celtics are so bad, they're making the Nets look good. So you're saying there's no in between? There's no way that it's both? It's no way that the Nets are actually just playing good basketball and they're a good team on top of the Celtics being an absolute disaster? Because I do think that it's both, like that can't discredit the Brooklyn Nets. They're getting a flow. We've been questioning if they're going to play together, when they're going to play together, if they're going to be healthy. Well, they're all getting out there on the floor. And when they do, they're destroying a team. And it wasn't that way early. They got the rust off. They got the funk off in game one. At halftime, they weren't in the best position possible. They came out. They went on a ride. They took control. I think it's possible to say that both of this is true. One team is an absolute disaster. The other team's playing some good basketball right now. I don't think it's one looks good because the other looks bad. That's right, Adrian. We also have to give not our appreciation, but look, we gave it to Andrew Knapp, a moment of silence, maybe. We gave a moment of silence to Andrew Knapp for his testicles. I think it's only right to do the same for Jay Crowder as he gets square kicking the ball. So here's your moment of silence for Jay Crowder. Oh, God. Oh, unbelievable. Unbelievable. When the Nets move the ball, they look amazing. We're going to have to force turnovers to beat them. Well, good thing is we have the ability to do that. Good thing is the Sixers team is built with defense. They get guys in lanes. Have you ever heard of Matisse Thybulle? I have. He's great at defense. Have you ever heard of Ben Simmons? I have. He's great at defense. If there is one team that can counter that ball movement and can counter them to the best of their ability, whether that's going to be enough or not, I don't know. All I'm saying is if you look around the league, who has the full-on best shot to do it? It's the 76ers. Is it going to be enough? I don't know. But they are going to be the best team possible to have that chance to possibly do that. That's all I know. So we'll see. I'm excited. I'm excited to find out. We got to see if they get there first, though. We don't know if that's going to be the case. Could be the Bucks. We don't know. All things sports with Zach. Yo, what's up, Brodes? Yesterday was my last day of school. Congrats. I'll be able to join Coffee with Brodes more often. That's awesome, man. Congratulations on your school year ending, and I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to hang out here with us. You saw in the clutch that the Suns are a really young team. CP3 is that guy that calms them down and makes them a nasty mid and knocks down some nasty mid-range shots. Yeah, there's no doubt that you see the difference in youth. You see I mean, this is what I come down to all the time, and this is why there really is no reason to bring it up with Ben, but just in general, just more broad basketball conversation. He's your floor general. You lose your floor general, you're going to have some problems. You're not going to be able to run the same way. It costs you. It costs you down the stretch when Chris Paul is not on the floor. It's not rocket science here. He slows down your offense. He creates your offense. He gets your offense generated. That's why I say all the time, it blows my mind that here with the Sixers, your primary point guard, your idea and concepts are, let's get the ball out of his hands. It doesn't make sense. That's not how this game is played. So it's just weird to me, like, why that happens and how you can succeed that way. You can see the difference with the Suns. When you lose that, you fail. You look miserable. You look off. You don't look right. Now, there's a big difference between playing Chris Paul for 42 minutes of the game and then the last 6 minutes. That's a lot of minutes, but 38 minutes of the game and the last 6 minutes or 5 minutes of the fourth quarter. You don't get that. That's a lot different than not having him play for essentially the whole game. Those are two different scenarios. But my point is this. Your primary point guard isn't available for you. You're going to look sloppy. That's normally how it goes. It makes a lot of sense for it to be that. You know what else makes a lot of sense, everyone? Deal Dash. All right, it's no surprise that I love winning. That's what the 76ers do. That's what they're going to do tonight. I'm chasing that feeling at 7 o'clock when the Sixers take on the Wizards again. But I have been winning even without the Sixers. That's because of Deal Dash, the online shopping platform that is actually fun. Deal Dash is the longest running penny auction website and app around. Too good to be true? You bet it is. I've seen a car sold for $900 and a brand new television. Listen to me. A brand new television for less than $2. Do not be a loser and stop paying full retail price for the things that you want and get it on Deal Dash. Go to DealDash.com or download the app. When you register, you can enter promo code COFFEE. That's promo code COFFEE for some special offers. There's a link in my description if you're listening to this on YouTube, and that link will automatically bring you to Deal Dash with my promo code already in the mix. So make sure you click on that link, sign up, look at some of the crazy stuff available. Dude, I'll tell you what. I scroll through TikTok all the time. Once I'm done with the TikTok, I scroll through Deal Dash. And I'm like, holy hell, I've been on Deal. Just, how you get sucked into TikTok and it's like, wow, it's 3 a.m. I do the same thing with Deal Dash. I'm telling you, it's crazy. So many great odds, so many great special promotions that you can get with promo code COFFEE. Wow, that was a good sip. Some sips just hit different with that cup of coffee in the morning. That was it for me. That was a good, oh yeah. It runs through your body. It goes down to your toes. Maybe just me. We know we have the perfect guys to stop Giannis. Just a matter of whether they're hitting their threes. Yeah, well, guess what? You saw what they can do with those 3-point shots. You saw that you don't anticipate seeing the Milwaukee Bucks score that many points like they did against the Miami Heat in the first quarter. That's just sensational. That's ridiculous. That's one of those, they put you away nice and early. Here's the coffin. You're lying in it. You don't see that every game by any means, but damn, they have the power to do that. I don't expect that to be the case always, but they have the power, and you can tell that that's an interesting, scary thought, Harper was No, my problem with the Harper thing, okay? It's not that he went to the IL. It's the fact that he was playing games and legitimately playing and being in big, crucial moments, bases loaded, ninth inning. swinging the bat that he was, the way that he was, while he was clearly injured, while he should have been on the IL, while there's so many problems. That's my issue. It's like, what organization is going to force their number one dude out there, their $330 million man, out on the field while he clearly is. Dude, guys are challenging him with fastballs down the middle of the plate. You should be afraid of Bryce Harper. If you're going to throw fastballs down the plate, it just tells you you're not. And it's consistent, and teams are doing it over and over and over again. He's swinging and missing. He's not making contact. He looks overmatched. That's not Bryce Harper. There's a reason why that's happening. He just got hit in the wrist with a 97-mile-per-hour fastball, and we're supposed to expect him to just be okay and for him to be all right. And now other issues are popping up because he's trying to make up for that in other areas, and it's one big snowball effect. It's the problem of this organization just throwing him out there as if it's not a big problem that your number one player needs time off. And that's where I have the issue. On top of that, they've made same mistakes with JT Realmuto, and they've made same mistakes with Didi Gregorius. Well, that's where, yeah, I mean, okay. Yes, there is an element of Bryce Harper wanting to play. There's also an element of someone in the organization oversteps that. All right. Now, this is the third person that had these problems with the IL stint, getting on the IL, not being on the IL, like this. So this is a problem with more than just Bryce Harper that we have seen so far this season. So there's more than just that. All right. So there's a bigger issue. Yeah, I think that there's something to that. Bryce Harper, they're not just saying, Bryce, you're playing. And Bryce is like, okay, whatever you say. He felt like it was okay to play also. And that's part of the issue too. That's definitely factored into the equation. But someone in the organization has to oversee that, has to overstep that. Bryce, you're not playing. Bryce, you're injured. Bryce, we need you long-term. We might have to sit you down for 10 games. We're worried about the others. We need you to be as healthy as possible when you're out there. You're not even helping us right now. You're missing balls in right field. You're striking out at an unbelievable rate. Your swing and missing is one of the worst right now in your career, and one of the worst we've ever seen. All this is reality. So even though you're out there, you're not helping the team. Your team's not benefiting from it. You need to sit down. You are not capable of playing right now. So you're right. As much as Bryce is probably in this, this is why you have people in the building that makes other decisions. Yeah, but they fucked it up. Like the IL situation was botched for JT Realmuto. You put him back now, because you can set it back 3 days and it can't be set back. They have issues with this. Wasn't done smoothly. There's no excuses for how they have handled the DD, the JT. There's no excuse for the way that the IL has been handled. The Bryce one, it's not when they put Bryce on. It's not the fact of them putting him on late. Like, that's not the Bryce Harper problem. The Bryce Harper problem was ever having him play with the injury. That's the issue with that one. It's just the fact of you had him play baseball when he shouldn't be playing baseball. It's not about when he was put on the IL. I know that kind of goes hand in hand, but it's because he was playing games that bothered me. I understand what you're saying about JT, but they have butchered 3 times now just injuries. The injury debacle has been bad. It's been poor. There's no getting around that the injured players and the way that this team has handled injured players has been a disaster. I think a lot of people did. Yeah, I think a lot of people did. I think a lot of people recognize how good Ben's defense was. Ben's defense was ridiculous. I think that this whole narrative that people don't understand what Ben does is a joke to me. That pisses me off. And Doc's the worst with it, but I mean, we don't expect anything less from the coach that's going to defend his players. I just don't like this narrative that you can't say anything bad about somebody. And if you do, that means you don't understand what he does so well. I think a lot of people realizes how good he is on Bradley Beal, how strong he is in some of these areas, and things of that nature. Yeah, Ben was amazing defensively. He was amazing on Bradley Beal. He was amazing on Russell Westbrook. He is that's why he's defensive player of the year candidate. I mean, that's why he's at the top of the league for defense. He brings it every single night. He's an amazing, 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 amazing versatile defender. I think a lot of us witnessed what he does so well on that end, and it's game changing for sure. The Marlins know they're better than the Phillies, John Kruk. He's not wrong. I thought that was a great assessment. He said that after game one when the Phillies lost. And I can't believe the final score that day was 9-6. Because I'll tell you what, it felt like it was like I don't give any sort of praise for that ninth inning when the Marlins threw out a dude who hasn't pitched in 10,000 years. There was a point in that game when it was whether it was 8-2 or 9-2, whatever the hell the score was. It felt like it was 10,000 to nothing. It felt like you were just getting your asses handed to you. You were just getting annihilated by a terrible squad in the Marlins, and it was embarrassing. By the end, it's like, what? The score was 9-6. That doesn't feel right. That doesn't feel the right way. Do I think the Sixers blow out the Wizards? Maybe not blow out, but I think they get a nice convincing win. There's a difference. Do I think it's going to be 25 point? No, maybe not. 14 point, 12 point, 13 point win where the Sixers are in control? Yeah, probably. Probably something like that. So not an insane blowout, but I think they're going to win in control. They're going to look in control. Once they do, I don't know. Maybe there's a first quarter barrage from the Wizards where they come out throwing. But once the Sixers get in control, they're going to kind of push forward and have that. Tommy's going with Sixers 107, Wizards 95. Is that a little too low scoring? I'm just basing this off of some of the other scores. Brooklyn scored 130. The Lakers went 109, 102. Mavs went 127, 121. If you go to Monday's games, the Bucks 132, the Nuggets 128. It's been a little bit higher scoring, so I'm going to go, and even if you go back to Sunday's game with the Sixers, that game was 125 to 118. So I'll go a little bit higher than that. I'll say maybe 120 to 106. Maybe we'll go 120 to 106 in that range for the Sixers. Something along the lines of that. Only 6 players in history of the playoffs shot 0 for 6 from the line or worse. Ben is one of them. Yep, he's also had the amazing 15 assist game. So it's a little bit of both, you know. My heart was broken when Ben missed the last couple of free throws. I really like the guy. I wish he is more talented offensively. I'm with you, sis. I'm with you. And I'm not just weirdly saying sis at the end of the sentence. Sis is the name of the individual that commented that. So it's not like I'm with you, sis, because that would be weird. I've never said that in my life. That name has never been thrown out there at the end. If Westbrook played like Ben, if Westbrook played like Ben did, he would be a more effective player. If Westbrook played like Ben did, he would be a more effective player. What do you mean by that? Because if you're talking about offensively, Russell Westbrook's just out of control, but he's not like Ben offensively. And if he played like Ben does offensively, I don't know if we'd be even talking about Russell Westbrook the same way. I'm a little confused on what that means, sis. I don't know if I'm comprehending properly. Who do I want to see in the second round? I don't really care, to be honest with you. Trae Young can ball, and there's a lot of issues with this team defensively when it comes to that smaller guard that's quicker. There is an issue with that area with this team for sure. I don't really think that the Sixers have a full-on major problem with any of these teams, though. I think the Sixers should be able to handle business against either of them. So I really don't have a personal preference. I know that's maybe not the answer that you're looking for, and that's not the answer that you're looking to hear, but I truly don't know if this second round matchup, if there's anyone that I'm truly about more than the other. Knicks have Julius Randle. They don't really have, a threat. Trae Young is probably Is he more of a threat based off of matchup-wise? Probably, but I'm still not that afraid of the Hawks. I don't really care. I don't really care. Give me either. Because Westbrook is bad shooter. I know, that's what I'm saying, but so you were saying that's why I'm a little confused. So you said if Westbrook played like Ben did, he would be a more effective player. But Ben's atrocious offensively. And you said because Westbrook is a bad shooter, he should not force it. His shooting selection is generally awful. I agree with you. So why would playing like Ben make him better? I mean, he doesn't. Ben's horrendous offensively. So you're basically saying, why don't we change a player who shoots the ball too much to a guy who doesn't shoot the ball at all? Would that change the way we feel about Russell Westbrook, or will we be saying the same thing about Russell Westbrook than we do about Ben Simmons? I don't think going down the road of being Ben, unless I'm just not interpreting this the right way, which could be the case. There is a possibility that my brain is just not getting wrapped around maybe the way that you're seeing this. Oh, they have Alec Burks. You're right. How could I forget? Good old Alec Burks, a walking bucket, as they say. He went off the other night. Now, what did he end up finishing with? That game was really fun to watch. Oh, that was Sunday night. Jeez, that was that long ago? It didn't feel that way. Julius Randle had 15.6 of 23 shooting. You're going to want to forget that one if you're Julius Randle. He's going to have to come back all guns blazing for sure. He needs to step it the hell up because that was an embarrassing game. Burks off the bench, 26 minutes, 9 of 13 from the field, 3 of 5 from the three-point land, 27 points in 26 minutes off the bench. Your walking bucket, Alec Burks. I love it. I love it. I always go back to last year. This team was so damn flawed that Alec Burks shooting off the bench, people thought we had Allen Iverson back in town. They were so stoked. Look what this guy can do. It's like, yeah, you know what? A lot of NBA players can do that. We just don't have anyone who can. We're just not used to seeing that type of power. We're not used to seeing that type of player. He has his games for sure. You know, he has his moments where he goes off and he scores a bunch of points, and he's an exciting player who can shoot off the dribble. He can shoot off the bounce. We just never saw that in so long because of the flawed roster that we were like, whoa, is this Michael Jordan? Is this what it's like to have the GOAT? But no, all fun and games. Alec Burks was fun. Raul Neto sucks. Yeah. Yeah, and that's your starting player on the other team. That's who they are starting. Think about that. Your opponent is starting Raul Neto. And think about what was being said about Neto last year. Oh, do we have some clarification on exactly what's being said? Where are we here? Okay, let's see. So I think referring to Westbrook assisting more than shooting so much, since Westbrook sucks at shooting, Ben just doesn't shoot. Yeah, I mean, I think that there's an element where he can take it back a bit, dial it back with the poor shot selections. I do agree with that. I guess I don't fully agree with if he plays like that. There's like a middle ground, right? It's not so much playing like Ben, it's just taking less brutal shots. If Westbrook took less shots and was more selective in his shooting, he'd be a better player, more efficient player. I agree with that assessment for sure. Yes, it is. It's the Ben Simmons giveaway, Jay. And all I'm saying is you are not going to want to miss the next giveaway that is going to be active just about 10 minutes or so after coffee. I would imagine. I got to make sure the graphics are all done and whatnot, but be prepared because there's another beauty headed in your direction. That's all I'm going to say. I'll leave it there. You're going to have to wait and see. There's another jersey ready. There's nothing better than jersey giveaway day. Nothing better. Always fun. Always fun. Dude, I agree, man. When he ends up going backboard on you, when he ends up going backboard and hits nothing but nothing, I mean, literally nothing. He's 7 feet off. He tries to be all cute and fancy, hit the top of the backboard and have it bank in. You know, you see Kyrie Irving utilize his handles, dribble, drive, stop on a dime, spin around, kiss off the glass, good form, nothing but net. When you do it, it's sexy. When you look like an idiot, when you miss, you look dumb as hell. And here's Westbrook trying to stop on a dime as he's driving. Like, I hate his form too. It's like, I feel like it's very like, I don't really know how to explain it, but it's very like close in and it doesn't look good I'm not saying it looks broken or anything. I'm just saying from the eyeball. If I'm doing NBA 2K, I'm not picking his form. I think it's too squished together. But anyway, he stops on a dime. He tries to kiss it off the glass. My man hits nothing. My man hits literally nothing. And I hate that people think like, oh, I want to see you try and get a triple-double in the NBA consistently. Yeah, I can't. And I know that, and I hate this one. How come if triple-doubles in the NBA meant nothing, how come all these other players can't do it? Because they focused on other areas. Because they're not just focused on getting a triple-double every night. It's pretty damn clear and obvious that Russell Westbrook averaging a triple-double has not related in doing much in this league. It's an awesome accomplishment statistically, individually. If that's your motor, fine. I mean, I'm not going to knock him for saying his goals were to have that, and he accomplished that. He just doesn't care about winning basketball, though, because that's not the most effective way to play the game, clearly, because he hasn't had a run while doing this, right? Like, let's correlate here. Individual statistics at the top. It's pretty bizarre what he's doing with these triple doubles. Now let's look at winning side. He hasn't been winning. And he hasn't been effective. And he hasn't been efficient. You don't see that there's a correlation here? What's up, Jake? What's going on, man? What's happening? The bank shots from Russell in game 1 were awful. I know. It's so funny. It's like the ugliest thing I've ever seen. Dude, you're not even close, bro. You're not even close. Not even close. Bradley Beal needs to pull a KD and come to Philly. That would be exciting. Unfortunately, it would have to take another individual to get him, and that other individual, we will see what that ends up happening. Depends on what happens. Bro, switching up here to a little hockey action. What did you think of the Oilers getting swept and McDavid not making it? Yeah, I mean, this is going to make the storylines pretty damn interesting. When you have a player like Connor McDavid give you 100-something points in an NHL season in 56 games, and the story is what it is. We know what Connor McDavid is. We know about the special talent that he is. No one's ever going to say, well, you know what? You guys are failing so much, it's time to get rid of Connor McDavid. That's never going to come out of any organization's mouth, and nor should it. But it does raise some eyebrows. Like, why? Why is it this way? Why can't this team do anything? Why are they not able to get over the hump? Yeah, now you have Wayne Gretzky getting on board with this whole new brand that they're going with, which is super exciting. That's going to be awesome to see. They're going to do it right, I feel. I think when you hear the news about Ray Ferraro, when you hear the news about Wayne Gretzky, when you hear the news about some of these people who are very respected in the hockey community going over and joining this new crew, I'm pretty damn pumped up about it. Oilers are top heavy. Yeah, but they're good, man. Like, I know the Winnipeg Jets are good. You shouldn't be getting swept. You shouldn't be getting swept and underachieving to this level, no matter how top heavy they are. They still have other players. They still have some great talent, and they do have good players outside of Connor McDavid and Draisaitl. Yeah, you're right. They do have those stars that are, very important to their team, and if they don't perform, there's a correlation with their record. They still do have some other pieces, though, that can play. They shouldn't be getting swept. They should not be getting swept by the Winnipeg Jets. They should not be blowing a 4-1 lead into third period. That goes deeper, and that stems deeper than just not having enough depth. Yeah, I'm pretty shocked in the series in general as a whole. I thought that the Clippers were the most ready-to-go team in this playoff run, and here they are. I mean, it definitely hurts when you miss a player like him, But here's the alternative. There was a game where Pierre-Luc Dubois was not in the lineup for the Winnipeg Jets. So now you have an opportunity to go up against the Jets with one of their top centermen that they traded for is not even in the lineup. And you still lose that hockey game. So, difference because Pierre-Luc Dubois ended up coming back, and it wasn't like he missed like this severe amount of time, but come on. Come on. The Clippers, Brodes. That's embarrassing. Yeah. You're not wrong. I don't know if they thought it was going to be a walk in the park. I don't know if they thought that they were just going to abuse them and beat them easily. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but there's a culture mentality that's wrong going on in that locker room. And maybe it stems from the leaders, Maybe it comes from Kawhi Leonard, whether it's Paul George. There's something happening with the leaders of that crew that they're just not on the same page. They're not dialed in the right way. They're not focused the right way. They're not collectively analyzing what they need to do properly the right way. You can see the frustration too. Patrick Beverley plays with a lot of emotion, and he's clapping and screaming and being a pest no matter what time of the year it is, whether it's pickup basketball at LA Fitness, whether you're at Rucker Park, or whether you're playing in the NBA, regular season, postseason, preseason. He's going to do that. But there's also this element when you watch him when things aren't going right, where it's somewhat, intensifying a bit. And you can see that it's bothering them. There's something in that locker room that's just not right. They're not clicking. You can see it with the frustration of these players out on the court. Are the Pens getting eliminated? Dude, that overtime winner, ooh, that was crushing. That was crushing. Once again, Jari makes a boneheaded decision. The problem is, if the Penguins had a netminder, they have a chance to win the Cup. If the Penguins had a goalie, they have a chance to win the Stanley Cup. They are only in this position because of that. Of course, there's some other minor things here and there and all, but if you change Jari and net and you put in anybody else, I'm not going to go to the extreme of saying, well, if you have Carey Price, well, no shit. Anyone with Carey Price is going to be in a better position than a team with Tristan Jari. But Jari has been a huge, huge problem. You're on your home ice if you're the Islanders. This is the game. This is the game. Not that you can't win a game without it, but so I got an email here. Yeah, there's that. I gotta send this email over. I tried to do it while on the actual show, but I'm gonna try it again. I have to send a big file. And when I sent that big file, I tried to send the big file before, and it made the stream a little fuzzy because I guess it was using it's a pretty big file. So I'm curious if I'm trying right now. So if things do get a little weird with the stream, I'll have to cancel the email. But I'm getting off anyway in 5 minutes. So we're pretty much closing down anyway. Yep, there it goes. Okay. All right, I'll start sending it over in a minute or two. Firing Doc was stupid, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, look, he was there for a while, right? I mean, if you look through the Doc Rivers coaching, yes and no. I mean, you always want to have a professional like Doc Rivers, but he was there for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It would have been his 8th season. Coaches, I mean, this is just not just basketball. This is coaching 101. I mean, in hockey, it's even more than that, or quicker than that, I should say. But getting fired after 8 years or so, 7 years, that's pretty standard, man. I mean, honestly, that's long to be that. The message runs dry. He was in Orlando for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Then he ends up getting moved on and goes to Boston for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years. That's with winning a championship at an Eastern Conference Finals in 2009. And then he goes to LA for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. It's 5 seasons with Orlando, 9 with Boston, 7 with the Clippers. You're staying there for X amount of years. It's pretty standard. I don't think it's ridiculous. I think it's the nature of coaching. Whether it's right or wrong, where the nature of coaching is, I think it's pretty standard on you get moved on from and you get fired and you lose your job, you lose your message, you lose your voice with the locker room after that amount of time. So it's pretty damn inevitable that after 6, 7, 8, you're kind of in that category. If you haven't won a championship, and even when you do, he won a championship with the Celtics 9 years later, or not 9 years later, but 9 years as a whole was his tenure with that coaching staff. So, I think it's just more of the nature of the job than anything else. $2 coming in from Chris. Joel Embiid is my father. Ben Simmons is my mother. I don't know if that's a shot at Ben Simmons or if that's a praise with Ben Simmons. Are you saying that in a negative way, or are you just saying that like they're my parents and you love them so much? I mean, there's a couple different ways to analyze this, so I'll let you tell the story And then after that, we'll kind of close down the stream. I don't know which direction we're going here, Chris. There's multiple different areas, multiple different ways. Kawhi leads by play. He ain't a vocal leader and will never be a vocal leader. And for Ty Lue, who respects someone has been on the bad. And as for Ty Lue, who respects someone who has been on the bad era of an AI meme. I don't understand. Is that why? Are you saying that? Is that why you're questioning the Clippers? You're saying Ty Lue is a bad coach because he's on the backside of a meme? I'm not sure. Yeah, the defense is a problem, Jude. The defense is a problem. They have no idea what they're doing with Luka. They got to send different looks to him. The Clippers' defensive performance has been pitiful. I agree. It's hard to beat a team when you have Luka now in 30-footers. That's true. It's a combination of both. The man has a one-legged little three-point shot. Little. I say little as if it was little. It was absolutely absurd. How do you stop that? At the same time, though, I don't think they're applying enough pressure on him either. I think it's a positive way, Brodes. I think so too. Chris isn't getting back to us, but I think it's a positive. I would like for him to get back, though, so we can have a firm answer. I don't want to speculate, but I think it's a good thing as well. He's kind of saying, like, these are my parents. Let's go win a chip. Let's go win a championship. So, with that being said, I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us today. Why does Bertans always go crazy? He's a three-point shooter. That's what they do. They get hot and they let it rock, you know? I want to thank everybody for hanging out with me today. Make sure you go to Twitter at Brodes81. There's going to be a new giveaway, a new jersey. Hopefully you guys win. Good luck to everyone for the Ben Simmons jersey. There's a new one coming. You're going to be excited. Thank you all so much. I'll talk to you later. Big game tonight. Big game tonight.